Ana Kasparian on Tucker Carlson. A lot of hubbub about this podcast. Right now, I want to zero in on just one really important moment because not only was it a prime example of why a lot of people didn't like Ana being on the Tucker podcast, but I feel like it zeroes in on a large portion of Ana's little right-wing MAGA pivot, and that's about the racism. There's this moment where she's talking about having a niche audience and how she bought into this leftist idea that everyone on the right, everyone in MAGA is racist. And this is kind of a pivot point. People sort of swing to the right. It's one of the ways they like to judge the left. Oh, you call everybody a racist. Everybody's a racist. Now, in a previous video, you may have seen me go into a diatribe about how, of course, if you're voting for MAGA, you may not be racist, but you're totally okay with racist candidates. And there is that whole element. But this specifically, I want to focus in on Tucker Carlson himself. Because Ana was using the fact that the left calls people on the right racist as a meeting point with Tucker Carlson, who is in fact one of the most notorious racists out there in the right wing. And here's how it went down.
I regret that because I unwittingly did build a bit of a niche audience.
Oh.
But those folks...
What do you mean radicalized?
Oh.
I totally bought the narrative that like everyone on the right's racist, everyone on the right is greedy, that kind of stuff. And I don't want that. I'm not an ideologue. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I'm willing to recalibrate on policy if I see it implemented and it's not working correctly. I ultimately just want truth. I want justice, and I want a country that represents its people. That's what I want. That's my core.
Dude, she's willing to recalibrate when it's time to get to the cash register.
I think it's, I mean, I just know from my own experience, I often say this, but, you know, they called me a racist for many, many years. And I would always say, if I was racist, I would just admit it. Because
if I was racist, I would just admit it. Please, Tucker. Right? Dude, you remember how racist his fucking show was? If I was racist, I would just admit it. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, Tucker. What the fuck is he talking about?
There are worse things, but I'm not.
Now, I could probably play 100 200, 500 clips of Tucker Carlson. I'm just going to show you a couple to kind of expose the way racism works for him. It's explicitly tied to this replacement theory and this sort of idea that whiteness is threatened by black people who are exceptional at their job. The DEI argument.
If I have a black female surgeon, my first assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards.
Those who conduct appraisals for federal programs must take part in anti-bias, fair housing, and fair lending training. There are solutions. There are solutions.
We're just going to brainwash the home appraisers. We're going to put them in bias training. Really, if you wanted more black home appraisers, why wouldn't you start a program to train them? No. The only job training program this administration has gotten behind in 2.5 years is getting black people to sell more weed in the cities, literally. We're legalizing weed, and we're going to make sure the weed dispensaries have African-American owners. They're not training any black people to be home appraisers. And by the way, the premise of this is itself unproven. That home appraisers are racist? Why do we think that? Again, there's zero evidence of that. It's a slur upon home appraisers, by the way. Why do they deserve this abuse? Well, they don't. They're not hurting anyone. They're accountant types. Why is the administration calling them racist? But they are, and they have been for more than a year.
But here's a good one, though, from not long ago, where Tucker Carlson sent a racist text to a producer. It's not how white men fight, right? Oh, shit. This is just one of many. Remember the caravans? He would talk about the caravans. Or he always had a big thing that said, how exactly is diversity our strength? Remember, he would go hardcore in on like how diversity is a problem and how immigration destroys empires. And the caravan, he would make up the caravans all the time like he was a nonstop sort of replacement theory guy, like always.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Here's a funny thing that we noticed the other day. People debate all the time about mass immigration. What you never hear anybody do is make the economic case for mass immigration. But as an economic matter, this is insane. It's indefensible, so nobody even tries to defend it. Instead, our leaders demand that you shut up and accept this. We have a moral obligation to admit the world's poor, they tell us, even if it makes our own country poorer and dirtier and more divided. Huddled masses yearning to breathe free? Nope. Cynical shakedown artists who've been watching.
And then he kind of burrows in a little bit deeper about people who've actually challenged him in public and called him a racist. Here's where it just gets weird.
And I would get so hassled, always by the same demographic. And I would always say to my wife, no black person's ever yelled at me. In fact, I've been hugged by a lot of black people.
I mean, that comment about black people hugging him, like, come on. We know that doesn't happen. He just walked down the street and black people just throw themselves at his feet. Like, that statement alone qualifies as outing him as a racist. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. The black people come up to him with tears in their eyes. Oh, Tucker, we really know you're thinking about us. Jesus. Dude, now we're just getting weird.
It's just a fact. I'm sorry, it's just true. And they don't seem to think I'm a racist, but it's always middle-aged white women who were yelling at me at Logan Airport.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that? No, I'm not whining. I mean, I don't really care, but it's just interesting. And so I think it's almost like fratricidal. It's like professional class whites who read the New Yorker, read the New York Times, like they're truly angry at each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I've just noticed this.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's propaganda.
How many black people do you think Tucker Carlson comes across in his fucking wherever his home is out here, Leatherface's house in a neighborhood that's probably 99.999% white? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Their perceived threats, I think, aren't real to the extent that they think it's real. And by speaking out and by confronting you and by, doing what you're referring to, I think they get a sense of I'm doing something about it.
Right. No, I get it. No,
Yeah.
I'm not even attacking him. It's just interesting to me. Because it's clear, it's totally real in their minds.
It is, of course.
It's not just performative. It's like I felt rage before. So, and as you so eloquently described, like that rage obscures, and I think maybe it's designed to obscure the reality of like physical degradation all around us.
All around us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is kind of the point. I think it is to some extent intentional. But what, since you do live in that world and have for so long, as rationally as you can, clinically as you can you explain what they're worried about?
Well, I mean, I think that their heart is in the right place.
Yeah. I'm giving them the presumption of good faith for sure.
Yeah.
I'm giving them the presumption of good faith. Sure you are, Tucker. Right? Sure you are. Because if you really were giving them the presumption of good faith, you would probably just go have a panel of them, right? Go have a town hall, right? With white women and talk to them why they want to do anti-racism work. Right? And I mean, all right, but here we go. You're fucking presuming good faith.
I just want to know, like, when some rich lady yells at me in the ski lift line, she thinks I'm racist. I know they always say that. But then there's also like, there's a fascist takeover imminent. Is that part of it?
Then one of the things that's kind of startling was revealed in this Jillian Michaels, Dave Rubin, Russell Brand, of all people, podcast, where they talked about the elite social club resort in the tiny beach community that Tucker lives in. Check this out.
Russell, you were quite right about the strange racial dynamic over at the Gasparilla Inn. And every moment you're there, it becomes like more and more bizarre.
Yes, it's difficult to deny that there is a sort of a near 100% white customers, black staff.
Jillian, have you ever been to this place, Gasparilla Island?
No.
So it's Southwest Florida. That's where Tucker lives, actually. And the Gasparilla Inn is like their like elite place. And I just did this event there last night, and the staff was 100% black and the clientele was 100% white. It was like
That's odd.
To the point that it was like extremely bizarre.
Dude, look at this. Yeah, that's Tucker Carlson's place. But look at this shit, guys. Like, Jillian Michaels is hanging out with Russell Brand. Dude, another rapist. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, dude? They will give anybody who is like on their sides, it's called actual friends, actual rapist friends. Hi, guys. Hi. Come hang out with me and my rapist friends. Jillian, the biggest loser, fucking Michaels. But she's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird, Jillian. That's real weird. And these are the people you're kowtowing to with PBD and all this shit.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's so funny. Uncomfortable. Hey, Jillian, are you having second thoughts about, like, your life right now? You're like, oh, my God, I'm so rich, and I was able to get gay married, and now I'm just hanging out with the racists and the rapists and the, like, child sex abusers, and I'm making so much money now. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so uncomfortable that they're all so racist. Dude, what the fuck, bro? And she's hanging out with a guy who got paid by Russia to spread propaganda. Like, good work, Jillian.
Weird.
And
so weird.
The logo of the hotel is Florida the way it's supposed to be.
No. Okay, what I'm about to show you is truly one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. Now, first off, we saw these guys talking about the Gasparilla Inn. It was on Gasparilla Island in Boca Grande, Florida. This is where Tucker Carlson lives. And this is a very well-known spot. It's a hotel resort, all right? Very popular. And they have been cited multiple times for employment issues with H-2B visas. And, you know, there's been some diversity issues with this place. You'll see reviews on TripAdvisor and whatnot about, you know, people being like, wow, this is crazy. There's not a single non-white person there and all the employees are black. But what is really harrowing about this is what I'm about to show you, where here we are on Instagram. There's 28,000 posts related to the Gasparilla Inn. And if you scroll through these, I scrolled through for like 20 minutes. And what's amazing about it is even when you see people at the Gasparilla Inn, you will never see an employee in the photos. You can literally scroll through thousands of photos taken at the Gasparilla Inn, all these Instagram photos, including posted by all these people that have attended there, and you will not see a single employee in any of these shots. Which made me wonder, like, do they have a policy that you can't show the employees in the photographs? Or how is it that thousands of people can take pictures inside a resort and never once see a single employee? It is truly one of the weirdest, most bizarre things I have ever seen. Again, I think this is one of the more unusual things I have ever seen, where there's, you know, such a well-known business that somehow manages to conduct business with thousands of people taking photographs on the site of the weddings and the various events and the resort stays that they have at this place. And you are hard-pressed to find a single photo that shows an actual employee of the business that has a reputation for having all black employees serving all white customers. If you go to the Gasparilla Inn and you look at it, it says Florida as it was meant to be. And again, part of their company branding is to not show a single employee in any of the photographs. Truly wild. Plantation-style building. And again, this is where Tucker Carlson lives. This is his community. He's not beating the racism rap anytime soon. So again, it's a microcosm. The Republican Party, the MAGA movement. Sure, Tucker wants to say he's not racist, but he will move into a community, 1,700 people, a white, wealthy community where the biggest and most well-known business in the community is, in fact, a bastion of old world nod to the times of slavery, Florida, racist. And I mean, dude, that business is just weird. It's uncanny that you can look at thousands of pictures in this establishment. And the one thing that is just not talked about, that's just sort of hidden from view, is that weird black people serving white people the way Florida was meant to be. Telling you, Ana, for you to not acknowledge this is just way off. I mean, I love this one where he says here, he's got this goofy look on his face where he says, America is not a racist country at its core, right? But like, guys, America, we now, sure, we're evolving, we're going through, but guys, we were the last country to abolish slavery, and we had to fight a civil war to do it. And then afterwards, we continued enslaving people with the black codes and shit right up until the 1940s on fucking sugar plantations down in Florida, guys. And segregation, which ended literally 5 years before I was born. That means segregation was deeply ensconced still here in America while my parents were in their 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, we are so racist at our core. Racism was literally the foundational element of our capitalism, our entire financial success. Wall Street, the epicenter of the modern financial world. Wall Street was a slave trading market of New York City, and we still haven't changed the name. It is still down on Wall Street, where they traded slaves when New York City was called New Amsterdam. For the love of fucking God, bro. Like, it is like ensconced in our judicial system, our educational system, our political system, our housing system, our financial system. It is like just intertwined in policing everything here in America. So now, even if we're not individually racist, we exist in a country that was founded and became an empire solely on racism and the abuses perpetrated on the native population here, where we took all their land, extinguished their food supply to control them, and the people of color that we literally built our entire economy on their backs, and then we never gave them shit except to lynch them and burn down their fucking, like, every time they had money. Okay, so yeah, America is indeed a country that is horribly racist at its core. Now, that doesn't mean we can't change it, okay? You know, there's a saying that it's not enough to not be racist. You have to be actively anti-racist. And so that's the next generation we need. We need to become anti-racist, not simply like, oh, we're not really racist. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, what are you talking about, JK? Like, come on, man. Now, it was unmistakable during the presidential election how Ana and Cenk, TYT in general, really zeroed in on those racial tropes that they used against Kamala Harris. Oh, she's unintelligent. She can't talk. Just, you know, whether you like your policy or not, to portray Kamala Harris as a completely uneducated, low intelligence person is just so off base. And Ana and her cohorts maintain that type of energy towards the black woman, specifically Karen Bass, Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris. It is just, it's a recurring theme, and it's a very big sign. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.